I think the most important part of the endowment fund to me is the legacy that it leaves for the future of our church. My parents had long, faithful lives. I've lost both of them in the last 2.5 years, but they left with me a legacy of generosity and faithfulness and obedience to tithe. And I've tried to do that all my life as well as I could. The opportunity to leave that kind of legacy with the church that will touch the lives of future generations is very important to me. The opportunity to do that is a blessing, and I just hope that this endowment fund will continue to be a legacy for the future generations of our church and our family as our family grows within the church.
For me, I think, this has been a long-term dream to have an endowment fund. I know we've been talking about it for years and years. We obviously have the ability to give to the operations every year, and we have the ability to give to capital campaigns. But when you begin to think about generosity and the idea of leaving a legacy, and how do you do that for future generations, and how do you make sure that the sustainability of the mission of Grace Avenue continues well into the future, something like an endowment fund allows you to do that. Because the great thing is whatever you give to the endowment fund, that's never spent. That just continues to grow and grow and grow. And the longer we have this and the more people that are able to contribute, the more the endowment fund will be able to pick up some of the expenses and allow us to do things that we couldn't otherwise do. And so for me, I'm just thrilled that it's here. I think people have to sit down and think about what they want to do and how they want to be generous. For us, giving back is not something that we feel like we have to do. It's to celebrate with God the blessings that He's given us. And so when you begin to think about giving those blessings back, for me, I think you have to think about where you want to put your money. And there's lots of things competing for your money in terms of nonprofits. But obviously we need to help the church within the year, and we need to help the church to continue to pay for the assets that we use every day. But there's something really special about knowing that I'm going to give some money to an endowment fund that may impact not just our children, but maybe our children's children down the road. And that's a really cool idea. And it's something that I feel like as we look at what we're going to give, that's an important part of our giving program.
I agree. It's a giving forward opportunity to give to the future generations of Grace Avenue. This is not this building. The ministries of Grace Avenue are not about what I can get out of Grace Avenue. It's about the ripple effect that we're able to start and to leave for generations to come. I think it's vitally important. I think we don't know at this point what the economy is going to be like for the near or far future. And I think the more that we can do now to ensure a healthy financial stance for the church and for future congregations, I think the better that we leave things.
I think it's an interesting question to think about your legacy and to think about when you're gone and you've gone on to heaven, what kind of impact have you made on this world and this community and what's going on. And we're not oftentimes given the opportunity to do that. And with Grace Avenue's Endowment Fund, there's an opportunity to, even though you've lived your life and you've moved on, you can continue to impact God's kingdom and the community around, because things you give to the endowment fund will continue to provide resources for the work of God and God's kingdom within Grace Avenue for years and years and years. And it's just an awesome thing to think about what you do today may have an impact well after you've moved on. So for us, we've elected to put most of our endowment funds within the general fund. Not that we don't think that those individual funds are important. We just feel like by putting it in the general fund, the church and the administrative board that manages the endowment fund, they have the opportunity to figure out what's best for the church. I mean, my crystal ball is pretty good, but I have no idea what the needs may be 75 years from now or 100 years from now. And so for us, we've elected to put most of it in the general fund. I do think we made a little bit of a donation into each fund just so that each fund had some money, but I think our primary thoughts would be to put it in the general fund.
Do it. Just do it. It's to have the opportunity to put money into an investment opportunity on behalf of the church really is priceless. There's nothing there's no definition that you can put on it for monetary value that in the future would not outweigh the money that you're thinking of putting in now. It's going to grow, it's going to be used, it's going to be a blessing to those going forward. So just do it.
So I would first of all just say thank you for the consideration. Thank you for thinking about this opportunity and what it might be. I would also say, if you're not sure how to do it, if you just say, look, I want to do it, but I'm not sure how, I'm already giving to the capital campaign and the operating funds, how do I do this? I would just encourage you to reach out to somebody that sits on the endowment committee, because there's lots of different ways to do this, not only with giving cash, but maybe looking at your will and what you could do at the time of your passing, insurance programs. There's just lots and lots of ways that your legacy can continue with Grace Avenue, and I encourage you to find a way.
I'm just thrilled that the church has found a way to make this kind of opportunity happen. That I keep saying it, but for future generations, I think it's important that just like you invest for your family's future, I think it's important that you invest for the church's future. And I'm just thrilled that we have the opportunity to be on the groundbreaking end of that and to get that started and to encourage others to participate and to be a part of it.
The only other thing I would add is I think this is also a great opportunity if you want to honor somebody in your life, or if you want to celebrate with somebody in their life. Maybe that's, someone that's about to be, a wedding or a birthday, or maybe you've had a loved one that's passed away and you want to honor them or memorialize them in some way. I think this is a great opportunity, not just for your legacy, but for the legacies of those that you love as well.